Hello there, everyone. This is Jorm again from Jorm and the Marvelous Raindrops, and we're gonna be going through another one of my music videos, getting down to the nitty gritty and delineating the undelineatable to the best of our ability. So here we go.
Categorically and what's the word? I don't know the word. I don't know who I am.
So this,
Maybe what you heard was
first off, it speaks to obviously, some of this I feel like I don't mean to pander to my audience. Obviously, some of it can pretty easily be understood, and I don't mean to evaluate my own ability to make things unnecessarily complicated, but I do aim to alleviate it for you here. So, basically, we're talking about a character who has a kind of mixed reputation. This word hams. Hams are people that kind of just lie on you for malicious intent, financial gain, and he's just kind of in this world of images and, it just kind of sets the tone for it's very cutthroat.
Some lies spread by some hams, but maybe it was actually true.
But then, he says that even for himself, it's hard to say. Sorry, I'm still learning this recording software, folks. So, I keep accidentally clicking the video and then it restarts, but
it was actually
maybe I'll
true.
stop that one day.
It's hard to say, because when these things get so complex as you go further on your way, and there's the methods, and there's theories, and there's lives washed down the drain, and all my iPhone got...
Some of these, he said lives washed down the drain, it just kind of talks about the cumulative community effects of certain behaviors, I think, is what I meant to say. Anyways, this part is really, even to me, again, not really, I don't really know. Sometimes you just say words because they sound pretty.
Cleary, and my eyelashes have ranged away from me because I ripped...
But obviously, there are certain, even in a metaphorical sense, you might have a dream where you can't stop doing something that is harmful, and it is, it's kind of this Freudian dream representation where you're ripping out your eyelashes, and as sad as it to say, there are some psychoactive substances that are used in the United States of America that can cause this kind of self-mutilation at higher doses. And so, as this character we're describing, he descends into this world, and it's just kind of some of the stops to see along the way, I guess.
Them out because I left the sea.
And then, this is real subtle, but he says, I left the sea for you, as before. Like, he's talking to, it's not really clear, but he's somebody that he's, more than once, he's gone out of his way to help them.
USB 4. You must be new here or something, or otherwise just pretty slow.
And then he's becoming hardened, He is no longer a newcomer in this unethical and so damaging world. He's becoming more adept, and he's kind of is taking out his frustration almost. And here he really describes the extent of that.
Oh, lately I've been trying so hard to embrace the fact that it's cold, but I don't even know how anymore, and I'm too afraid. It sucks so bad, so I guess I'll...
And then here he's appealing to this sort of, ancient Stoic, not necessarily the Stoic philosophy, but more just the concept of someone who is Stoic, somebody that just, it's fine, coming from the Midwest, I know many people like that, and, it's not something that originated in America necessarily. It's definitely something that maybe doesn't always solve problems the best, but it definitely can make them easier to tolerate, speaking from my own experience.
Say that it's just fine, all of the time, it's just fine.
And then, he is amongst, people that are stealing bicycles from each other, and, bicycles are like a, this is just based on, things I've talked to friends about, but bicycles become like their own currency. And so here he's addressing this type of individual who will just steal someone's bicycle. And if you think about it, you might think, oh, a bike is, first of all, they're worth like at least like 500 to 1,000 or more new. Plus, like, if someone is at the point that they're an adult and they're leaving their bike like out in a vulnerable position, it's probably their only mode of transportation. And so you're just completely, and a lot of people that are stealing these bikes, they just ride it for, a few fucking blocks and then just, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just unnecessarily malicious to an completely innocent party in that case. So that is an aside, but he's basically next. He's addressing the morality, the duality, the complex morality of
And I
the sort
could
of
ride the bicycle that you so kindly provided to me. Treat me so well as though I have to believe. Honestly, didn't have a bad heart. You just had a twisted head. Didn't have the bad start. You just got out of the bed in the middle of the night before the sleep was complete. That you needed to achieve a peaceful and normal day of basic and alive human activity. Locked up in some basement with your eyes locked on some pixels.
This, I guess speaks to
screen where you will never get to be the one to describe it in time with the world and the beating drum. Chest and the stupidest twirling eyes and empty dervishes. I grew up too late and you passed me by.
But some of these lines here are and despite all the heart and soul that I've poured into this work, as self-hesitant as that is, I'm probably too lazy to edit all these fuck-ups out of this video, because that wouldn't be very punk rock of me anyway, but it's gonna make it seem as though I'm a lazy video editor. But I spend like fucking 40 hours a week on this shit. Just out of passion, so if anyone thinks that, just, I've already addressed them. So where were we? We were somewhere around, yeah, so I was gonna say that it's like kind of a
on some pixel screen where you will never.
It could mean a couple things there, because like COVID, we all got locked inside so much, and we could only use technology to communicate with our loved ones in many ways, and it's like, it just kind of burns you out. Even, I spend so much of my time with my friends online, but still something about it being through a screen just kind of tears at your soul slightly or something, I don't know. But, and there's just a lot of, potential themes there. I will continue on now.
Get to be the one to describe it in time with the world.
And again, sometimes you just say things because they sound poetic, and there's no deep connection to my protagonist's life here. It's just poetic phrasing to enhance the senses and make the music more visceral.
Beating drum chest and the stupidest twirling eyes and empty.
And this is, something, there's something like whirling dervishes that I don't want to just be, I will feel like I'll say something that is incorrect if I try to say anything. So I forgot, I know it's related to some kind of spiritual practice, and I was just a little
dervishes. I grew up too late and you passed me by, and I demonstrate the successive lie and the empty etiology that I.
And I guess that this is, again, something that could have a lot of meanings, and I know exactly what the real one is, but I just don't want to say it, but I'll just make up some cool sounding. So yeah, I guess it's just kind of about like existing within a legacy of, I don't know, I'm just trying to remain public facing here, and also coherent. I'll get back to you guys on that one. If anyone ever watches this video, for sure you wanna know more, just ask.
I will self-awarely acknowledge we could never have had time to call it what it is, 'cause I stand down while I get.
So this part, however, I can explain. He's talking about, first of all, we never had time to call it what it is. People aren't being really honest about the way they're conducting themselves, and now he's looking inwards at his own dilemmas and realizing that he's realizing that it's corrupting him on a deep level.
Washed away by waves that are composed mostly of all I lick out of the city streets. When I get desperate, have to say that I have let this kind of warp my inner self, and now I think that I could never felt the way back. Life with peaceful, painful days of boredom hurt my face. All I store inside my grave, a kind of fusion of becoming, hate ourselves because of societal stuff. Wait, I sell, but it was too tired to trust.
Much less
I could love
this part. So I have a friend from my distant past with this name, and I say the word trust a lot because why not? It's a common little word, and my music is often about broken trust and blah blah blah. But anyway, so every time I say the word trust, like half the time it's like I feel like I'm saying his name, and then I like laugh at myself because I'm like, oh my god, like it's so it would be dumb, I'm not gonna actually sit here, but it's like, so then I just like almost get like this like OCD thing with myself. So I just thought it'd be funny to just say fuck, I'm just gonna like say it, so then it just like doesn't bother me anymore, and it's just like so it's like an inside joke with myself, and
You could never Montrez. I was never what I intentionally said. Just the pronunciations get caught in my head. So is a personalized inside joke with my death. I'll have allowed you to.
And I think that this is very open to interpretation, but I think that it speaks to just kind of a willingness to let yourself be dragged down, because almost just out of boredom, once you get to a point where everything is so boring because you have kind of developed this metaphorical taste for blood, then that's kind of it. And then at some point nobody else's blood is just satisfying enough, so it's like fuck it, I'll just kind of just light this whole fucking shit up. That is not behavior I condone. My protagonist, I don't even think he fully condones that sort of. He himself, and again, I'm not him. There are multiple layers here. He himself is only speaking figuratively. So no one should set fire to wicks in any context, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's all. That's my message. Thank you for tuning in to Jorm and the Marvelous Raindrops as we bring some confused joy to the hearts of citizens of the whole globe.
Set fire to the wick.